Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another F1 22 gameplay video today. Today we're here at Portimao for an F1 sprint at Portimao. So, if we recall back to the 2021 Portuguese Grand Prix, it was quite a dull race. So, obviously F1 is looking to try and spruce F1 sprint to make dull races more appealing. Can this make Portugal more appealing to racing? Well, that is where we're going to find out later today in today's video, but obviously I'm just doing this is actually my first lap around Portimao. I just put on a setup. That corner is always problematic. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I don't know why this isn't available in career mode, but hopefully, that will come apparent when they do China, because China's on its way as well. But they've pretty much not actually done anything to Portimao other than load the AI in. I should point out this is also recorded on patch 1.07, so hasn't got today's patch located in. So you come around the final corner then to complete the first lap of a 120.4, and I actually managed a 119.9, but bearing in mind in the Williams car, but I think last year managed to in the 17.8 around here, so a little bit slower than last year. So yes, we'll have to bear that in mind for the race. We'll see what we can do. Time for the Portuguese Grand Prix sprint.
Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint.
So we're going to be driving as Fernando Alonso, the man that caused chaos last week when he decided to move to Aston Martin as well. So 5 red lights then for the Portuguese Grand Prix sprint, and away we go. And well, it's a mediocre start as it always has been on F1 22. We're going to try and go around the outside of Magnussen and Gasly, and it actually works out, a little bit of track extending there, but we make the position work. We're going to try and go down the outside of Bottas. It's going to be a lovely little move on Bottas. Turn the inside of the next corner. Verstappen has been blocked out by Hamilton. Then we're going to dive down the inside of the hairpin and make the move and up to P6, so it's a good start as well. And because of course, they fixed part of the things, this is Grand Prix mode, so the AI not as OP as they are in career mode, and we're able to get Hamilton. I feel like that the AI do have traction. They still have OP traction around here, but saying this, it's more mitigated, I think, in Grand Prix mode, but I'll have to wait to see if that's in new career mode. Did a little bit of contact between myself and Hamilton there. We just decided to be aggressive, the AI aggressiveness that they had on this year's game, and tried to stick it down the inside. Next up is Leclerc, who's fallen asleep. In actual fact, we're going to try and nab him on the out, but then again, he out-tractions us off that corner, unable to get the position. As now we're watching Hamilton, who's going to have a go at us at the blind right-hander. We're not having any of that though. We squeeze him out. That's going to be vulnerable to Verstappen, and both of those are going to fall behind, swabbling. Now we're setting purple first sector all of a sudden round the outside of Leclerc, but Leclerc cuts in again. So getting a bit frustrated behind Leclerc, and we actually have to bide our time. Now Leclerc is starting to fall back from sight because he set the fastest lap. We're going to try and have a dive down the inside into turn 1. Finally done a little bit of track extend there at turn 1, but cool as you go, and away we go. No contact there, but Leclerc just yielded the position there, and gives us P4. Next up is Sainz on lap 6 in this very short sprint. Trying to have a look around the outside, and he gives us the space on the outside. We're going to try and use a bit of the ERS, but we're not going to have the position just yet. Dive here. He gives us the space. It's an unorthodox move, but we've made it work. I don't think anyone has ever overtaken at that corner. But nevertheless, well, there is an overtake there. Sainz, you know, I don't know what was the Ferraris, their tyres are going on. I know the AI is a little bit low, I'm not going to lie. You know, that's the issue with this year's game, is the AI is so all over the place. It's very hard to set the AI to a competitive level that we need. As we come across the line then, for P3, very good starting position. We made up 7 places in the sprint as well. I didn't think that was too bad for racing. As well, the middle sector was a bit dull, but you know, I mean, we were making that race exciting. Not particularly anyone else. As well, I don't think there was much movement elsewhere from the positions other than Bottas having to pit as well. So, time though for the main race.
You join us in Portimao as we prepare for what will undoubtedly be a magnificent day of racing. It's time, of course, for the Portuguese Grand Prix. So Portimao features 15 turns over the course of its 2.9 mile length. 9 are right-handers, while 6 are to the left. This is a track with a lot of uphill action, which only accentuates the importance of getting those exits right, especially at turn 4, where a good line can present opportunities to pass on the way into turn 5. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. It's Sergio Perez on pole today, and starting next to them is George Russell. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Charles Leclerc, and Verstappen, Hamilton, Joe, Gasly, and Yuki Tsunoda, Magnussen, Ocon, Lando Norris, and Mick Schumacher, Ricciardo, Vettel, Lance Stroll, and Nicholas Latifi, Albon, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And what would any Grand Prix weekend be without the one and only Natalie Pinkham alongside me, as always, to talk you through the action. Can we begin by having a chat about Sergio Perez?
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? I'm also looking forward to seeing the different strategies in play today. Those who are starting on the red marked soft tyre are going to have a little bit more grip early on, but they have to make it count before the degradation starts to set in.
So here we are around the grid on P3. It's a little bit overcast as well. I've upped the AI for the main race, by the way, as well, just to point that out. Race strategy is going to be as it has been. It's 25% race, so it's going to be from a soft to medium. Which I think I remember rightly last year we did medium to soft in this when it came on the game. So a little bit change of strategy there. New tyre model for this year's game. As far lights are out then, and away we go for the main race. It's initially a good start. I got on Russell there, but then we get to the Ferrari. He's going to try almost banging tyres with Sainz there. So he tried to go out the inside, but remember, hold the race. We just held the racing line, you know. It's the fastest way through turn 1, and now I've set the setup for this sprint, by the way, with lower wings on the rear. So we've got the top end speed. It's a setup that, you know, works for me. It's not a setup that anyone else is really using. I can't remember what it is, like 26, 20 front wings. But we got Russell here with pure just straight line speed, no DRS involved. And Russell gets flummoxed at the corner that Carlos Sainz follows me through. So Perez leads from myself as Alonso, and then Sainz, who's fallen behind, I must say. Myself and Perez in another world. Verstappen is somewhere else. I mean, I don't know what's happened to Verstappen. It's not the Verstappen we know in real life. We are going to come into the end of lap number 7. Purple first sector with DRS. Try to look around the outside of Perez there. As well, it seems to be a corner that, you know, you can make overtakes, try and make an overtake out, but, you know, middle sector, the AI, as it was, it's just not my strongest sector, to be honest. As well, especially with the setup, you know, having those lower rear wings, it cost me in the middle. It cost me in the middle sector. We come around then through the final corner and into the pits. We come. I'm going to follow Perez in here for our only pit stop. Sainz and Russell continue on. Leclerc and Hamilton are in as well. Optimal pit stop, what will this be? 2.4, and well, it's a little bit iffy. That's a little bit of an unsafe release, but we don't have unsafe releases in F122, so we've jumped Perez as well. We were out in P11 as well. We've also set the fastest lap in our first stint, catching up to Perez, but ourselves and Perez, you see Hamilton behind. Again, the AI could probably be doing a little bit more here as well, but Perez, what a move! Damn, that was such an unorthodox move. But over the hill and down the hill, he had so much speed. I mean, he's in a Red Bull, we're only in an Alpine, but what a move by an AI and Checo to put it down there. You know, to recognise that we're slow at that corner. We're instantly going to be back on Perez already, though, at the penultimate corner. Can we get him through the, well, it's effectively the final corner, but isn't really. It's final braking zone, I should say. We've got a lot of ERS to play with. We're going to have DRS as well. We go a bit wide, but that's going to give us a tighter line in. And up to the line, we're going to move to the right and breeze past with ERS and DRS and take the lead of the Portuguese Grand Prix. I mean, I don't know what it is when I drive as Fernando Alonso, but we seem to win in Grand Prix mode all the time. It's his thing since ever since Alonso came back. We had a little bit of a moment there, and Perez had a even bigger moment, by the way. That's going to be invulnerable to Sainz, but Sainz is on the hard tyres. And I know from my career mode that if you're on the hard tyres, then you have had it. As Verstappen has been in the walls, and he's behind Alex Albon. And Albon, by the way, is behind Latifi in this race. So, yes, those two fighting for the wooden spoon as well. As we come through then, the final corner, it was comfortable in the end, and across the line to win the Portuguese Grand Prix for Alpine. Oh, definitely take that. Yes, the AI were a little bit low, but you know, it's definitely good to have Portugal back on the F1 game.
There's a few disappointed faces up and down the pit wall after that one, but not here. They've secured a phenomenal victory. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
As today's winners make their way up the podium steps, the folks at Alpine have shown once again what it takes to build a successful Formula One team. A well-deserved win for them.
Thanks, Alex. Nice to be back on the Portuguese top step, as many times, well, a couple of times at least in career mode last year. We just need this track back in career mode. You know, it's a nice track to drive. It's a good track for me, so. You know, Coke Masters, EA, get it in career mode, please. As well. Otherwise, you know, offline, it's not really going to be used that much, personally speaking. But I've already talked about that. So, yes, a win at Portugal. You know, from 9th place when we started from. You know, would have been able to make that submissions up if it was just a normal race? Possibly not, but there we go. That's showing, you know, the potential of reversing, let's say, the top 10, for example, like they do in Formula 2 sprint. Verstappen did get in front. It was actually Latifi. Actually, I'm not entirely sure what happened to him in the end because he actually finished behind Verstappen and Albon. But for us, victory at Portugal. I hope you have then enjoyed this little episode on Portimao. If you did, leave a like, subscribe channel, and you see plenty more F1 22 gameplay videos as when they come out. But hopefully to get these out a little bit sooner, depending on when they release their patches, as well, because you know, being a part-time YouTuber, they don't always coincide where I'm available to instantly make a video like full-time creators as well. But you know, I think it's important that, you know, I like Portugal probably, and as it stands, this is the only time I'm going to be playing Portugal until they put it in career mode, if they do actually do that, which hopefully they will. Fingers crossed that they do. So yes, enough about that. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thank you very much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.